Gina.
Did you start it?
Yep. Ah, surprise.
You didn't do it, Mike. So here I am just looking at the... Thanks, Mike. Mike was supposed to do the lead-in.
I can do it if you want.
No, it's too late.
Happy birthday, surprise.
Oh, that was so nice of him, right? Gosh, Michael. Welcome. We didn't have the cute little countdown. Yeah, you know, it's been a day. Welcome all. Yes, thank you for the happy birthday wishes. I usually don't make a big deal about my birthday, but Gina spilled the... Oh, gosh. Oh, geez. Oh, gosh. Okay, sorry.
I told you there'd be a loud surprise.
Oh, my gosh. Look at my desk. Oh, don't do that. Shoot. It's all on the sticky mat. It'll be there forever. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry.
Aren't Brothers great?
Yeah, Aren't Brothers great?
Okay, that's it.
That's it. Okay. I don't usually do anything for my birthday, but Gina spilled the beans in the live last week, and then that was it. So I figured I had to fess up. I'm 50 today. It's a big birthday. Sorry for the loud noise. Man, good thing I went to the bathroom before this. That would have been a problem. Thank you. Yeah, it might be like this today. So just a little warning. Welcome. I'm glad you're all here. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, people were surprised that this is what I was doing on my birthday, but I figured we could all be together and have some fun. And, you know, I didn't have anything else planned. Colin is far away at camp. He's volunteering for a month at a camp, but I'm going to visit him next week. And Lila is volunteering at Safety Village, so she's not here. So what the heck? What the heck? Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. I'm excited because I've got some fun things planned, like some happy cards, different than what I normally do, and I'm excited to share them. I have 3 cards planned, and then if I have time, I have 2 more in the thoughts, I guess you would say. I am going to start out with just demoing something, but not actually turning it into a card. All right. Thank you all. So I told Kinnery, who's one of my good friends, she owns Pinkfresh Studio. I noticed that they were having a new product release today. And she asked me if I was going to do anything with it. And I said, well, that's my birthday. And she said, if it's your birthday, we need to do some special things. So she has 2 incredible offers for you today, and I will be using Pinkfresh products. So I'm going to start out by showing you the 2 special offers. First, Mike, can you put up the free gift? Mm-hmm. So right now, this is amazing. This is the best free gift I've ever seen. This die, background die, and 4 stencil set, layering set, they go together. You get both for free if you spend $30 at Pinkfresh. It's a $33 value, but if you put $30 of other products into your cart at Pinkfresh, a pop-up will show up and offer this for free. Isn't that a great freebie? So I'm going to show you what it looks like here on my desk in just a moment. So that's one of the free gifts. The information on what to do to receive them is in the description below, so you can find that all there. Then can you show the next offer? This one is exclusive for all of you. If you use the code Jennifer McGuire at checkout, you get an additional 20% off clearance items. And I'm going to show you some examples today before we get started of some things that are on sale, and the video, so you can go look at those videos. I have them all linked in the YouTube description below. So 20% additional off clearance items, and the clearance items are like 50% off. So it's a huge savings, and then you get that free gift if you spend 30 or more. So I'm going to start out by demoing the, oh my goodness, Anna, Debbie, Joy, Denise, Sean, and Joy, another Joy, and Laura. Thank you all for the super chats. Very kind of you. I appreciate that so much. I'm actually going shopping tomorrow for candy. Can you bring it back here? I'm going shopping tomorrow for candy and Clara, thank you, for Colin.
Birthday
I'm going to Colin's camp. Can you put the screen back on? I'm going to Colin's camp where he's working, and he texted me last night at like midnight and said, hey, can you bring candy? So I'll go use it to get candy for him. Anyway, I'm going to be an adult guest at a Young Life camp, and that he happens to be working at. He's driving the boat around. Okay, so let me first show you the free gift, and you'll see that it creates a great background, a lot of things you can do with it, and then I'm going to show you some of the things on sale, and then we're going to hop into cards. The beginning stuff won't take that long. Yeah, thank you. And Betsy, thank you. Betsy dropped off this sign that says Shenanigans in Progress, which is perfect for me, and a bottle of wine on my porch. And then Vicki Donnelly made, this is incredible. This is, it's an orchid that's made of paper, because my dad loved orchids, and I cried like crazy when I opened this, and it's beautiful. So it's gonna stay up here. And then Mike got the balloons and decorations. I did not do that. He did that.
And the confetti.
And the confetti, unfortunately.
I told you there'd be a loud surprise.
I forgot. I put on my clown shirt for today. What the heck? Okay, so I'm going to start by showing the free gift, demoing it real quick. Then I'll show you some of the things that are on sale in case you were interested in those, because it's huge savings. And then I will make a bunch of cards with some new things. Let me think here. Somebody asked, is that free gift on anything? Is there anything in the little, it would say it right on the screen. Let me see. Yeah. It says, nope, it just not gift cards. So I'm guessing if you did $30 worth of clearance items, it would show up free too. But I'm going to be using some of the new stuff today, because I get a lot of people who say I use a lot of flowers. So today I'm doing non-flower things. I'm doing some fun things, something a little more masculine. I don't know. Later on. Thank you all for the super chats. You don't need to do that, but thank you. In fact, Mike, for my birthday, he made a donation in my name to, I keep stepping on confetti now. He made a donation in my name to the Trevor Project, so maybe I'll donate some of this money to the Trevor Project also. All right, okay, so let me go ahead and show you the free gift. All right, so this is the free gift. It is this die. It's a background die that cuts 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And 4 stencils, and this has never been released before, so this is a brand new. So yeah, just stick with me on the flower thing. I'll have some examples too. And look at how the die cuts this intricate piece. Isn't that beautiful? So this will fit nicely on a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch note card, so you could use it alone. You could also use the die to make an impression, which I've shown in videos before. Hi, Libby. This would be a good one for that. You could even probably foil with this on the glimmer, and it'd give you like a fine line gold plaid. Really cool. Now, I was starting to use the stencils right before this. So I did 3 of the stencils already. So over the first stencil, I did waterfall ink from Pinkfresh. I'm going to finish this background off. I did waterfall ink over the first. What I did is I chose my 4 favorite Pinkfresh colors. So waterfall was the first one. Over the next stencil, I did grassy knoll. And over the third stencil, they're easy to line up because they have tick marks on the corner. You line up with the corner of your panel. And over the next stencil, I did candy violet, which is a great like pinkish purple color. Then over this last one, I'll do coral reef. Yeah, I've got coral reef. I like passion fruit too. But you can see how you can use some of the stencils or all the stencils. In fact, just using these 2 would be fun alone. So you can skip some of them if you wanted to. But this is the one that's free with a $30 purchase, which is super generous. Thank you. Yeah, I thought I would go, like you could go more with colors that are closer on the rainbow and be a little more muted, and then you could add like a flower or something to it. But I thought with this background, I'd go bold and then just add a sentiment, like a big sentiment to it. I didn't even get out a sentiment. I figured I could do that later. I just wanted to demo this real quick before we got going. Cute. Yeah, isn't it a nice freebie? Very generous of them. And look at this background. Isn't that cool? I like the thin white line in between it. Isn't that neat? Ken is upstairs. He's going to pick up Lila from camp, and he is making one of my favorite meals, which is steak, baked potatoes, and panzanella. So he's cooking tonight. And then this lines up too. Okay? So you can use them together or separately. But isn't that fun? You could even offset it. Oh, that would be cool. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Offset and then just cut like a smaller rectangle out of that area. Oh, that's neat. So you could use it lined up or offset. I like the offset. That's cool. That's really cool. Now this, I would just put a bold sentiment in the center. Isn't that fun? This would also be fun, like with Simon Hurley pastes. You could do like gold or silver for the center bits. A lot of things you could do with this. So this is the free gift that you get over at Pinkfresh. You add $30 or more of product into your cart and a pop-up will come up offering this die and the stencil set for free. Hi Simon, I was just talking about pastes. Hello. Hello, hello. Hi Jessie, hi Leanne. Oh, I'm glad you're all here. See, this is a good birthday party, right? 50's not so bad. Yeah, I like the offset too. It just really stepped it up, doesn't it? Look at that, that's cool. Oh, I love that so much. So I'll probably glue it together, cut a rectangle or oval out of the center and put a sentiment on it. Yeah, okay, so that is the free gift. Before we get started on making some things with some new products, I just wanted to show you a few of the things that I noticed that are in clearance. That there is confetti in my ink blending drawer. Oh my gosh.
Brothers rock.
I'm gonna make him clean it all up. I noticed there were a lot of things in the sale section, the clearance section, that I've done cards on in the past. So what I did in the YouTube description below is I'm happy to be 50. It's better than not reaching 50. That's the way I look at it. Anyway, I put in the YouTube description, I put a few of my favorite things that are in clearance. I have links to them, and then right next to it, I have a link to the video where I used it. Okay, so for example, the first one, can you pull up Fall Foliage? Mm-hmm. I didn't put an image, the product image. I should have. I don't have the product image, but there is a layering stencil and die set that works very similar to the ones I'm going to be using later, and it's all leaves. And when you stencil it all and then use the die to cut it out, you get a bunch of individual leaves. And I used it for this card. You can see I formed a wreath around a shaker window. And then can you go to the next one? And I used it for this one, for the background. So that's the Fall Foliage, and that is, I believe, 50% off right now. It's linked in the YouTube description below. And then if you use my code, you get another 20% off that. Okay, so Fall Foliage. This is one of those where there's no stamp. You just stencil and then die cut. And that I will be using a stencil and die cut alone, or die later in this video. So you'll get a different look, but the same product. So that was one of my favorite Pinkfresh products last year, and it's on sale right now. Next, I have an example for the Fancy Rose bunch. This is the Fancy Rose bunch. It's a big stamp and coordinating stencils and a coordinating die, and those are on clearance. I have the link to the video showing how to make this card below also. So every card I'm showing here, I have a link below to the video. This one I did like a floating heart and a bigger heart die cut. Which die is sold out? I don't think the freebie is gone. Maybe she's talking about a different die. Okay, next is Geo Arch. Can you pull up the Geo Arch? I used this one in a live recently, and I'll show you it. I thought I did more than one card. Oh, yep. So that's the Geo Arch. You can see an example there. That one I offset the foil plate from the stencil and created a new pattern. There's a video for that below. And then, can you show the next Geo Arch? And also this one. This is where I used, it's a foil plate and coordinating stencils. So there I used it to foil. However, can you come back to my desk? I made these with the Geo Arch. Oh, the leaf die is sold out. Okay. But the leaf stencils are still available. Okay. The Geo Arch foil plate, if you don't foil, it's okay. You can use the foil plate to make an impression. See that impression there that I did on both of these? And then I used the coordinating stencils in different ways. Brianne just put a link to the video for these. So this was one of my recent lives. I have it linked below. So I have lots of examples using the Geo Arch foil plate and stencils, which are on sale. And these examples show how to use them even if you don't have a foil machine, because you can use foil plates to make a really cool impression. So those are on sale. Can you go to the leaf example? This leaf is again a foil plate and layering stencils that coordinate. Those are on sale. I have a link for this video below. And again, if you don't foil, you can make an impression with that leaf die, or that leaf plate. Next is Wonderful. Now this is one of my favorite sentiment stamp sets. You can go ahead and just kind of scroll through them. That's one of them. They're all different. I like the style. There's thanks for everything. They're so grateful. And wishing you all the best and hope your day is wonderful. And take care. Those are all in the same stamp set. It's called Wonderful Sentiments. That stamp set and coordinating die are on sale. There's more there. So that was one of my most used sentiment sets from Pinkfresh, and those are on sale too. All of it's linked below. Brianne is also sharing some of them in the chat. Thank you, Brianne, for doing that. So I just wanted to show you, because sometimes things are on sale, it's a good time to get new things if you can, but it's better if you have some ideas to see them in action. Also, keep in mind that Pinkfresh, if you pull up a product image, underneath it will be some ideas. So they have a lot of great ideas on their site too. Is Andy Granick here? Is my Andy here? I saw hi to Andy. I haven't seen him in so long. So thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it. Andy's here. Hi, Andy. Andy is one of my favorite people, and he's getting back into crafting. It makes me so happy. So happy. So the discount offer is 20% off, and an extra 20% off clearance items. And the code is in the description below. You just click those links and use that code. Then the free gift will automatically pop up if you have $30 of any product in your cart. So two really good things. Sentiments is part of our week. Oh, okay, sorry. I forgot to mention this. Thank you. Is that Kathleen or Jody here from Pinkfresh? The Wonderful Sentiments that I just showed you at the end, that's not a clearance product. That's a weekly promo. It's 50% off, but you don't get another 20% off that one. You get an extra 20% off all the others I showed. Okay, I hope that makes some sense. And somebody from Pinkfresh is here, either Jody or Kathleen. Something smells like it's burning. So if you have questions, you can tag them here. Vicki, thank you again. Oh, Kathleen, thank you, Kathleen. Vicki, thank you again for the orchids. I cried. I cried. I love them. I love them. Andy said, Jennifer was one of the first people who I showed my new craft space to. She was really the best person No. But I love you. I love you. Colin just asked about you the other day. Okay, let's make something. Okay, one of the things, oh, Jody's here too. So both Jody and Kathleen are here. Kathleen is under the name Pinkfresh. So, and Jody is Texas Jody. Okay, Pinkfresh just had a new small release. And the reason I was excited about it is it's different. It's a similar style to something they had a long time ago that I loved. And they're bringing it back, and it's new images, but that style is coming back. So the first few cards are more playful. happy, colorful cards. And then the last card that I'm hoping to have time for is more of a classic lighthouse card. So I'm hoping to get as much done as possible. Somebody asked about the low-tack tape. I'll tell you, I have 2 low-tack tapes that I like. The first is the Easy C tape. I need shoes. I keep stepping on stuff now. Where's my other one? Oh, here. I have 2 low-tack tapes that I like. For low-tack tape, I'm almost out of this. Low-tack tape for die cutting, or anytime I'm afraid that I don't want to rip my paper, I use Easy C tape, which probably is linked below. Sometimes it's called highlighter tape. By far my favorite. However, if I'm doing masking, like for inking or whatever, I will use the Spellbinders tape, the yellow tape. But this, when I run this through my die cut machine, holding a die in place, I find this sometimes tears. So that's why I use this. Hi, Richard. Aw, Richard said I get younger and more beautiful every year. Mike just made a face like, thank you, Richard. I'm glad you're here. Thank you all. Okay, so those are the 2 different tapes that I use. So you probably see both in videos, but I use the Easy C tape. Yeah, a lot of people say, because this has never torn my paper. I will say sometimes it leaves kind of a bit of a sticky residue behind when you run through a die cut machine. However, it comes off very easily with, with an adhesive eraser, which is right here. With an adhesive eraser, which I recommend having anyways, because this is good for rubbing away dry liquid glue also. Hey, welcome. And Betsy, Mike and I decided that cocktail hour is starting at 4 o'clock today for my birthday. So I'm going to have a glass of wine, thanks to you, and Mike will have a beer. Don't judge us for starting early. Okay, so let's start playing. Hi, Dana. Dana, I get to hug you next week. Okay, let's start playing. I mentioned that Pinkfresh has some really kind of cute, playful kind of stuff right now. Let me show you a few things from it, and then I'll start making a few things. I don't think I have them all here. Let me get them all. I have to go out there. See, I did have this organized. This is the plate. Give me just a minute. I'm having issues. Okay, here we go. So the first set that I'm going to use is called the Sweet Safari. So this is not peach wine, Vicki, you're right. This is just stencils and a die. They're sold separately, but there's no stamp outline image, and I really like that look. You can do softer or bold, whatever you want, but I like the no outline look. And so it has 2 images. There's the elephant and then there's the fruit. I'll be using the fruit on one card, the elephant on another card. So you can see there are 3 layering stencils and then a coordinating die. So you'll see me use that soon. Now along the same lines are a few other things. I'm gonna have to go get some from out there. There is another that is a layering stencil set and a coordinating die, sold separate or together, and it creates this tall image that's really cute, and I have a fun card for that one too. And so we'll be doing some fun stenciling hacks today, some ways to add details today, and a fun fold that I haven't shown in a video in maybe 10 years. So something different today. Now let me go get, let me go get the rest. Hang on, they're out on this table here. Just a second. They're on the ping pong table is where they are. Sorry. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this. Oh, I'll mention that later. Okay, so then there is this cute gelato on the go, which creates this adorable image. This has stamps, coordinating stencils, and a die. And you can see some of the playful sentiments. I'll be using one of these sentiments today. I just like how these are different. Here is another stamp set. I don't know if I've got I don't have the packaging for, oh, here it is. This one is, there's a little ice cream truck that you create out of stencils and die. And then there is a stamp set that has lots of sentiments and the images to add to it. And this is the ice cream truck. So this is stencils, die, and a stamp set, but you can pick and choose. I like these sentiments. I'll be using some of those today too. This just for you here, I think is sweet because you could easily add it anywhere. All right. Then there is the, this one has the layering stencils and the stamp and the coordinating die to create a little shop. So you can use the little images from the stencils create. You can see there's cake, candy, and more images, or you can mix and match with the other stuff. All right. Pinkfresh said something. Did I get? I'm hoping I didn't get something wrong. And then the final one in this look is the seaside cones. So you got a little seal, and there is a coordinating. There are stencils and coordinating die. So this one will be similar feel to the first two I'm creating. All right, so there's a whole collection. I have a link at the top of my YouTube description to all of the new Pinkfresh, so you can see them all there. I just think it's fun and different. And then later, if I have a chance, I'm hoping I have a chance. Let me see, where is it? If I have a chance later, this is from their last release, but I've been wanting to use it. It is the Guiding Lights, the Guiding Light stamp set. There's a press plates, there's dies, and then look at these stencils to create a backdrop for it. So you could use these stencils to create a backdrop for anything, and then you could also add the lighthouse, which has the coordinating stencils for the stamp set. And I like that they had this background scene that you could use with other things or this. Okay, so I love that idea. I'm hoping I get to this tonight. If not, I'll use it in a future live. Okay, so that is Guiding Light from the last release. All right, let's dive into first the fruit card, because this one was fun to make. All right, here's the fruit card. So I made this with Sweet Safari, and the way this card opens is there's like this hinge to open it. And it stands up cool on display, but it's a little hinge that opens the card. And I'm going to show you some tips for the inking. I'll show you how to do the fun background and just this fun fold. And I have a few different variations of this. Laura, a press plate, yeah, this is different for Pinkfresh. They actually, as I said, they had this style long ago, and I'm so glad they brought them back, because even though those old stamp sets are discontinued, they have some animals on it, I've kept them because I like them so much. A press plate. A press plate is, it is a plate that you can use on a better press system. If Brianne's here, maybe she could put a link to my press plate, better press playlist. I'll be using a press plate though today, so you'll be able to see it. And I will demonstrate using that press plate with a better press machine and with a regular die cut machine. So you'll see both. Hi. There we go. Yeah, shipping is crazy. Okay, so let's do this. I've got some inking to do, but I thought while I did the inking, I can answer some questions. Now, this stencil set you could use in two ways. You could use, where is it? Okay. You could use just a piece of white cardstock that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches, and each time just line up the little tick marks on the corner on the stencil with the corners of your cardstock. That way you can ink both the elephant and the fruit at the same time. However, for my first card, I'm only using the fruit. So what I did instead is I did all my die cutting, and I'll just line up my stencils with the die cut. All right, so let's do it that way. And just another way to do it, because I do not need the elephants for this one. I think both offers are good through, what did it say, Mike? The 19th? 19th. All right, so all I'm doing here is lining up the images with my die cut. Easy to do. Now, you could save a lot of time by inking these like making them all watermelon, all lemons or whatever, but you know me, I gotta make things a little complicated. So I'm gonna do a mix of fruits here. And I need to do the same thing on 5 of them. So I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I don't. If you got to make sure you add that freebie because they can't go back and do it. Why is shipping not the same for all companies? Different places, different forms of shipping, different types of packaging. Unfortunately, some companies will eat shipping costs, but that's not an ideal thing for them to do. Not all companies can. Okay.
I
don't know what the copper plates. Oh, the copper plates, Emily. I think the copper plates were a style of better press, like a script style, but I would have to look into that. What'd you say, Mike?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Let's do, for watermelon, let's do coral reef with a little bit of pink. Coral reef with some bubblegum. So I have 2 colors here, coral reef and bubblegum. And I am only doing these 2 as watermelon. So I need to mask off the other. Where's my mask thingy? Here it is. So I will just put, I have this little plastic piece from Simon Says Stamp. Any kind of mask here would work, but this one's easy because I can pick it up and move it. And I'll put coral reef. Maybe that's not dark enough. I'm going to go with passion fruit instead. Passion fruit and bubblegum. Yep, this is the new black ink stand from the ink stand, and I have a discount code below that you can check out. Brienne, who's my Link Ninja helper here, she is the creator and the maker of ink stands. So let's see, I'm doing these 2 as watermelon. Now my inking here is going to take a while, so let's do questions. Yeah, again, the 20% off only works on clearance items. There's a link to the clearance items at the top of my YouTube description, so you can find what 20% off. Yeah, foil plates cannot be used on the better press. It's a one-way street. One-way street. Okay, so there's the first one. I'm just going to do the same thing on all of them, and then I'll go back. Mike, is there a question that I can answer while I do this?
Let's see. What are your favorite ink colors?
Oh.
Pink and Roy G. Biv.
Okay.
Your favorite colors, I guess.
Roy G. Biv. Okay.
Pinkfresh.
For Pinkfresh. Okay. I'm going to go over there. Well, it depends on if you want bold or light. I'll go for middle of the road. How about that? I'll go for middle of the road. For pink, I like Sparkling Rose, which is a little bit lighter than this one. But keep in mind, Pinkfresh inks are in families of 4 inks. So a light, medium, dark, and extra dark. I'm kind of being messy here, but that's okay. Light, medium, dark, extra dark. So if I suggest a color, and maybe that's too light or too dark for you, you could get a different one in that family. But for pink, I would say Sparkling Rose. For orange, I would say Apricot. For yellow, I would say Lemon Whip or Sunshine. For green, I would say Key Lime. For like a tealish blue, I would say Waterfall. For a regular blue, I would say Seaside. For a purple, I would say Hydrangea. And for a purplish pink, I would say Candy Violet. Yeah, I can't remember my kids' names, but I can do that. I can do that. What's the difference between the Altenew Grip Mat and the Waffle Flower one? So this is the Altenew one. This is just, they're very similar. You can use both for the same thing. The Waffle Flower one is solid, flat on both sides, okay? And yay, I'm glad you got the freebie. The Waffle Flower one is like flat and solid on both sides, and it comes in a bunch of sizes. I use that one in my Misty stamping tool. Sometimes I'll use it in this purpose too, but since one of the sizes fits in the Misty, mine usually stays there. I'm making a mess. I'm not masking really well, but that's okay. The Altenew one has a grid on the back, which is kind of nice because it doesn't grip as much to the table, so I can move it around more. The Altenew one comes in this 9x12, and I just use it mostly for stencils because it's big. But really you could just stick with one. It's not like you need two different ones. That makes sense? Yeah, if you are an ink cube user, I would recommend the ink stand for cubes because it makes it easier to do inking without having a little ink cube floating around your desk. Can you scroll it? All right, so this is passion fruit and bubble gum. I had actually planned on making these ahead of time and I didn't. I played pinball. Thank you. Hi, Heather. Heather's here too. Yay, it's a party. I should have had my local friends come over, but that would have involved answering the door, which I don't do. My mom texted me this morning. She's like, I was just at your house. I came over to wish you a happy birthday and give you a birthday card, but you must have been in the shower. I'm like, no, I just didn't answer. Because I don't like people. I don't like people showing up at my house. Isn't that terrible? So I missed out on a birthday hug from her. I'll get one later. Any other questions? Thanks all. I appreciate it. What is the discount code for the inkstand? It is in the YouTube description below. I have it there every video I do because I use the inkstand in every video I do. And I know, Brianne, do you have the new style, the new inkstand sizes available? Because she has them for all different types of ink. This traditional size here works with Pinkfresh, Pinkfresh, Hero Arts, Gina K, Concord and Ninth. But I also have a different one that fits Altenew's round one, and Distress Ink square, and Lisa Horton large square. So, oops, I'm gonna have a red lime later. Oh well, it's okay. Better than horrible. I'll just throw the fruit in my cocktail and it will all be good. Aren't they cute? Yeah, I'm not good at the surprises. Christina Werner showed up my house once to surprise me, and I forgave her because, you know, I was just so thrilled that she showed up. But man, no, I'm not good at surprises. I really made a mess of this, but that's okay. So I got to go back to this one. I'm going to clean that off. So I did the watermelon on each of them. Good. A no soliciting sign. Yeah, I really should be nicer. But my local friends know, like, if they just let me know. I'm not good with surprises. I know that's not fun, and that makes me sound rude, but it, you know, it may, I don't know. What do I know? All right, for the lemon, I'm gonna do lemon, and I'm gonna do a lime. Okay, so lemon, I will do sunshine, and you know what, I'm only going to do one color for each of them instead of doing shading like on the other, you know, like on this one I did like 2 shades to kind of get a blend, but I'm trying to save a little time here, so I'm just going to use one on these. Thank you. Oh, Kathy's here. Is Kathy here? Kathy, I just saw that I got a card from you. Maybe I will do a little blend. I got a card from you in the mail, but I haven't opened it yet. Thank you. Let's do a little bit of shading. How's that? And then for this guy, I will do a lime. You could really save a lot of time if you didn't do multiple, but that's just not how it go. What is the name of the charity you support at the beginning? Trevor Project. They are like an mostly anti-suicide for like transgender, LGBTQ, just providing support for those who just aren't treated fairly all the time. It's one that I found out from Christopher Allen at Brutus Monroe, and it's a great organization. Okay, next, more of the key lime. More questions? Yeah, the wonderful sentiments that I shared before, that isn't on clearance, but it is on sale. So you don't get an extra bit off on it, but you do get 50% off of it. Anything that's in the clearance section, you get an extra 20% off with my code. Very generous. They just had a huge clearance sale last week. In fact, this one, I don't know what it's called, but this one, it's a stencil set that creates a solid colored background and a coordinating stamp set. This is from one of my previous lives. What is this one? I saw it was on sale too. Let me see if I can find what it's called. It is called the Blooming Peony, and I saw on sale earlier. Now, I don't know if these things have sold out since this morning, but I'm hoping they haven't. Yeah, it is a great charity. I don't think there is any reason. I don't like, how do you say it? I don't like the idea, I'm not good with words, just telling you that right now. I don't like the idea of anybody having a reason to feel unalive, and I will support any organization that, provides them with hope and help. Good. There's one there, Mike. What's it say? When I use the Altenew double-sided adhesive sheets, my release paper gets left behind on the magnetic mat. Is there any way to keep this from happening? Put a piece of scrap paper, like thin typing paper, junk mail, between your magnetic mat and your release paper, and that should do the trick. That should do the trick. Mike, why don't you read me one so that I can, because I'm going to take forever doing this if not.
Kathy gave you $1.50 super chat. Thanks,
Kathy, thank you for the $1.50. I will buy 3 chips, potato chips. We both love potato chips. And someday I'm going to show up at our house with a bag of them and a bottle of wine.
Last one.
What is the white plate that you're using? Okay, I'll show you. This is from Simon Says Stamp. It comes with this clear one. It's like, I forget, placement guide or something. And they come together and they're meant to like position things centered, but I just use it as a mask because it's plastic and it wipes off easily. You could use like a piece of acetate. I'm making a mess here. You could use a piece of acetate for that too. You don't have to use something fancy like this. Or you could use the edge of another stencil. All right, I'm almost done with this one. What's that last one there?
I've cut many dies at once for years, like you showed in the live, but sometimes have trouble getting them to cut properly. Sometimes turning the plate helps, but not always. Do you have any tips?
If you need a little, some intricate dies need a little extra pressure. So get yourself a metal shim. You can buy individual metal shims. Some machines come with them. Some, but Simon Says Stamp, I believe, sells a metal shim that is like universal. Or you could just do like a folded piece of cardstock and use that as a shim, just to put a little extra pressure in. If you're using the Anna Griffin Empress machine, sometimes if I have a really detailed die, instead of, what just rolled on the floor? There it is. Instead of using, I usually cut into my magnetic mat, but if it's a really intricate die, I'll cut into my clear cutting plate and that will cut better. And sometimes if you put the die upside down so the cutting edge is facing up, somehow that cuts better. So it just really depends. How's that? You scroll it. The sale, I think, is through the 19th.
Yeah.
The code is in the description below. Hi. Is there a link for the Trevor Foundation? For the Trevor Project, Mike will put it in the chat if it lets us. I don't know if, I never know
I can do it.
What's allowed. I also put like a place where you can donate in my stories on Instagram. So that you could also just go there if you wanted to. Which I didn't really mean to do, but I'm glad it did because I don't know how to do it. To set up a fundraiser on there. I just put that Mike donated that for my birthday gift, and it's started a place to donate on there. So Instagram will donate that money because I think they do that with like legit organizations, charities. All right, so this is going to be an orange, and then you'll notice I'm doing orange over the watermelon seeds. You'll see why later. I just want to get ink there so I know where they are. And then I will do Berrylicious for my strawberry. Yeah, okay. Were there some other questions there? There we go. Look at that. Isn't that cute? I love how these are like kind of artsy-fartsy, where they kind of overlap in different ways. Like the images overlap instead of being like a masked look. Oops, so I'm using Berrylicious and Clementine here. I haven't even had my birthday glass of wine and I'm already making a mess.
It's not 4 o'clock yet.
It's not 4 o'clock yet, I know. How do I store my magic brushes, blending brushes? How about I show you that when I use those I'll show it to you. It's a makeup, like a lip gloss container, I think. I don't know. I will show it when I use them next, because I'll be using them in this video.
Somebody asked, how many of those brushes would you recommend?
As far as brushes, no matter what kind of brush you do, if you can pull it off, I recommend having a brush for every color in the color family. So a brush for pinks, a brush for reds and corals, a brush for oranges. And when you switch between a dark and a light color, then you just wipe the extra ink off onto a cloth. Now I have more brushes than that because like I have a brush for dark red and light red because I do so much, but I think you really only need one per color family. I personally think that's all you need. And I think the Pinkfresh magic brushes, which I will use in a moment, those come in a family or a set of 3. And it's actually in a nice little box that I don't even have the box anymore because I used it as a little gift box. It's really nice. And so I would get maybe 3 of those if you can. Today's a good day. I put the Pinkfresh brushes right at the top because I love those brushes. You have heard me say time and time again, I call them magic brushes. That's not their real name, but that's what I call them. They're hands down the easiest brushes to blend with. And I bet some people here have them and would agree with me on it. They are hands down the easiest to blend with. So now would be a good time to get those because if you spend $30, you get that free stencil and background die. So the brushes aren't on sale, but you can get that free gift, which is awesome. Okay, one more. We're almost done with these. Oh, it's in Germany. In Germany, it's 10. So I could have a drink. If only I spoke German. I need to get my mom down here. She speaks German.
There was somebody earlier named Michelle that said she already started celebrating your birthday early.
Oh, Michelle, thank you for taking one for the team. Thank you for taking one for the team. I appreciate that. Okay, so that was Clementine and Berrylicious. By the way, that Berrylicious ink is a great red. Very good red, if you need a good red. I need to do swatches to share with everybody for all the inks. That's a big time intensive thing I just haven't done. I need to hire somebody to do it. Like I need to, or force my child to do it, one or the other. Okay, so this is the last one. So this adds the strawberry topper. So this is mostly green, except for the seeds. But I'm gonna do green on all of them, and you'll see why in a moment. I'm gonna keep this very simple. So I will do green over this whole thing. So this is these are the magic brushes that I like so much. This is the container I use. It's the same one that I used to use for my Altenew blending brushes. I like this because I can put a gap between the brushes so that the bristles don't touch. I did do a live a long time ago showing, I need a darker color here, showing, let me get the darker grassy knoll. No, that's not darker. No, I think I'll stick with this. I did a live a while ago showing different options that I use for blending brushes. Maybe Brianne would know a link to that, but I do plan to do at some point a live that just shows all of my ink blending tool storage down here. I just need to get there. I'm doing green over this. I will cover up the seeds with something else later. So I know it doesn't look great. Just bear with me. I'm going to show you a way to add details to these because the details make me happy. All right. Throw some orange juice in a glass, add some alcohol, and call it a day. Yeah, you know, it's been a roller coaster day because, you know, I'm happy it's my birthday. I think this is the happiest I've felt in years about it being my birthday because usually I don't make a big deal out of it. But I'm also sad because it's the first one where I won't get a gift from my parents. I'll just get a gift from my mom. So, you know, it's been a year. It has been a year. And to my friends that are here, thank you for helping me. All right. You could do some extra blending on these again if you wanted to, but saving time. I did do a video about that. Okay. All right. Is it almost 4?
It's getting there. I got you covered. I'm gonna wait.
No, unfortunately it's almost 4, which means I'm moving really slow because I'm on my first card. But this one, I should have done all this inking beforehand.
You're in charge. You can take whatever time you want.
I'm in charge, whatever. Yeah, well, no, it's all good. You know, we all have things, right? We all have things, and I'm hoping next year is better. All right. Are there more questions? Okay, so there we have those done. Now I'm going to show you details on these in a bit, but I'm first going to make the card, okay? I will say for these brushes, there's some really cool stands on Etsy that people make. If you search on Pinkfresh blending brushes, I think it'll show up. They 3D print them and it's like this big stand. I don't do tall stands because I keep my brushes in a drawer, so I prefer something that sits low like this. Are there any dies or embossing folders the Empress can't handle? The Empress can handle all wafer thin dies, and I found it can handle all embossing folders. The things the Empress can't do are the thick old Sizzix dies that are super thick, or like the Glimmer and Better Press. But any other dies and embossing folder, any of the regular dies that we often use, like this one, they're called wafer thin, those, no problem at all. Okay, I don't want to lose these because I'll need those later. All right, now I'm going to start gluing these together and get going on this card. Okay, if I can find my glue.
There it is. Right
Yeah, maybe somebody said you don't do big on birthdays either. Maybe it's an anxiety thing. I think it is. I think it's like the attention makes you anxious.
Yep.
Mike agrees. Every year Mike's like, don't get me anything.
And every year she gets me something.
And every year I get him something. We just, I don't know. But we don't also, like, aren't huge on birthdays in general. I know some people do, like, huge things with their families, like the kids. We do things, we have some traditions, but it's not, like, over the top. Oh, Jane, I'm so sorry. Oh, I should do that. Yeah, I should have had Betsy come over today. And Heather and Jana, local crafters. I have some of my good friend local crafters are close by, but we never craft together. We did in the past, but I always feel like I have work to do. Okay. I need a hair clip. Darn it. I don't have one. I'm going to go with a rubber band. Any more questions? Yeah, extroverts like their birthdays announced. Christina Werner loves her birthday. And I'm like, no to the birthday. Oh, did I do extra here? Yeah, I did an extra one. Okay. Okay. Card base. Let's do the card base. If I can find it. Where'd I put it? Just a minute. Here, we'll take this one. Okay, so for this card base, I'm going to do something a little bit different. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Don. I appreciate it. We're going to do something a little bit different here. Now, you could make this card without this funky little fold, but I thought it was kind of fun, so that's what I went for. I think I did 1.5 inches. Okay, so we're going to do our card base, and you really can do this in many different ways, and I'm going to show another example, 2 other examples in a bit, if I get to them. This is a piece of white cardstock that is 11 inches by 4¼ inches. So basically it's a full sheet of cardstock cut in half down the middle. Now I'm doing my first, I want my fold here to be at 1.5 inches in. It just worked well for this placement, but you could make it wherever you want. So I'm going to do my first score line at 1.5 inches, okay? And I'll fold there. All right, so at 1.5 inches. Now I'll put that 1.5 inch edge into the corner, and I want my card to be 5.5 inches wide. So from that fold, I'll do at 5.5. That way, when I fold these in, those 2 ends match up, and my card size is 4¼ by 5.5 inches. All right? So you could leave it like this, so it opens like a gatefold, but I wanted it to be this like little hingey thing. So I'm going to put that back in, and right along where this meets the back of my card, which is at 4 inches, I'm going to put a score line there. Okay, so basically this is 1.5 and 1.5 again. So I could have done it all at once, but now I've got, it looks like that. Okay, so this is, the card will open like this, and this right here I'm going to have glued together. So I'll put glue in here. So this is just like a hinge over here, and the card will open like this. I think you should have cake for my birthday, Brianne. Hi, Erica. Hi, Angie. Yeah, please have cake. Lila's, I don't know if Lila's home yet. No, she's not home yet, but she's making me a cake today. I'm excited. So I've got that glued there. Now, I wanted to show you a really cool, I talked about using a better press. There is a new set from Pinkfresh. It came out today, and I really like it because it can be used in a lot of different ways, and I'm going to show you many of those ways today. Okay, so this is the Petal Grid. There is a die and a press plate, and when you use them together, you get this look. Now, I'm going to use, for this card, just the press plate to do a pattern on the background. Do know that you can use this press plate with a foil machine, like a glimmer. You can use this press plate to make an impression, which I'll show you later. Okay, but right now, I'm not using the die, I'm just using the press plate. This is the Petal Grid. So I'll save the die for later. When I look for it, it's up there. Okay, so I'm putting that right at the center of my Better Press system. And again, if you've never used a Better Press, I have a playlist showing so many ways to use them. Press plates are very popular right now because there are so many ways you can use them. Good, good. So I'm taking a piece of white cardstock here that's 4¼ by 5.5, and I'm putting it in the tick marks so that it'll line up with this. Now, keep in mind, I'm using regular white cardstock here. If you want a deep impression, you want to use a cotton paper, a watercolor paper, or Better Press paper here to give you a deep impression. I'm not looking for a deep impression. I'm just looking for a sharp pattern. So I thought I would use Fresh Pear, which is just a really light green. I really like this color. And I will ink it up. You do not need any specialty inks for the Better Press. They sell Better Press inks that do work wonderfully, but I find you can also use what you have, and Pinkfresh inks are great for it. Just choose an ink that has a firm ink pad, not a soft one, like a foam. Thank you all. Okay, and there we go. So you get a really crisp look that you could never get from stamping. One pass through, and it gives you a little indentation, so there's a little texture to it. Now remember, there is a die that you could use to cut this out. I'm not going to do that now. I will do it later, but not for this card. I didn't want anything too distracting. So that piece is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I am cutting off 1 1/2 inches, which is the same size as this little flap. Okay, I'm going to cut 1 1/2 off. Let's do it this side. Let's do it this side. Okay, 1 1/2. Doo-be-doo-doo. Okay. Yeah, the better press, I'm telling you, the better press is just, more and more companies are using them, are making press plates available, and it just, you get a crisp look that you could never get from stamping.
Hey, Joanne's right. It's 4 o'clock.
It's 4 o'clock, Joanne. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you. Joanne, you're my favorite. Joanne, you know what? You need to email me through my website, and I'm going to send you a card, because Joanne, you're taking care of me today. Thank you, Joanne. Please do send me your address. I'll send you a card. Okay. Now I'm taking those 2 pieces that I just cut, and I'm gluing them on the front. The reason I'm gluing these instead of just doing it directly on the front of my card is that I could get just a better impression just doing it on regular cardstock instead of on the fold. This seems to overlap just a little bit, so I'm going to cut a hair off. Just hair. Little hair. See that little hair? Okay, so now we've got, this is our card base. Okay, yeah, the free gift, the products that are eligible to get you the free gifts, everything but gift cards. So you could just do the new products, or you could do some clearance shopping too, because you have that extra 20% off. Okay, so now we can start adding these. But I do want to make sure one is right along the edge here. Okay, so I'll take this one, but I'm only going to put glue on the back half. So right along this side here, okay? Because I don't want to glue my card closed. So I put glue along that. Then I'm going to lay it down kind of over where that little crease is that we created, so it hangs off like that. See how it's kind of hanging off there? Then, let me move that over a little bit. I'll put another one here. So let's do, and I'm alternating the position. So let's put glue on the back of this one. Do. That's good. Good enough, right? Oh, thank you, Michelle. Thank you all. I appreciate it. I will add the watermelon seeds. I will add all the details, I promise. The watermelon seeds I did on my own. So there we've got that going. So this is how it's going to open. So I'm going to close that up, put something heavy over here, and start adding the others on. So I did kind of go overboard with this card. You could definitely, you know what you could have done? Just have that one border of fruit and skip the others. But I like the idea of just covering a background, because the only thing better than fruit is more fruit. Oh, Mike is coming. Oh dear.
I gotta figure out how to open it now.
Yeah, he's. I don't think he knows how to open a bottle of wine. He's a beer guy. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now I've got fruit along it all. Fruit everywhere, right? For a sentiment, I got 2 different ones. Let me show you. So on this one, I did have a deliciously happy day. And that is from the, let me find it. The deliciously happy day is from this set, the Patisserie Pals. And then I also have Our Friendship is the Sweetest. So I did 2 different ones. What?
Just the floor.
Oh, the floor, yes. I'll have to take a picture of that floor. So these are the 2 sentiments. They're both from the same stamp set. I just thought I would do 2 different ones. Now I want to make sure it's only glued on this flap here, so I'm only putting glue on the back half. And I'll lay it down right where I want it, and that way it'll swing over like this when you open it. Okay? Can you scroll it? There we go. All right. So I'm not going to do all of the details, but I'm going to show you what details I did. Okay? Thank you all. I appreciate it. Doo-be-doo. All right, I did a few different details. First of all, for the watermelon seeds, I wanted them to be a little shiny. So I'm using a black glaze pen. I've used this for years. I just really like the shine it gives, and it gives a tiny bit of texture. I don't know if you can see, but it's got, come on, baby. Come on. Put this up. Just a second. Can you see the shine on it? And it looks great as dots, like for eyes. So I remember how I did the lemons or the watermelon seeds as orange. I just did that so I would know where to color over with the black glaze pen. Oh, nice, Mike. Okay, so I did the watermelon seeds in a black glaze pen. So I did it on all. Then for the strawberries, I'm just doing little dots. Okay, I did dots for the strawberry. Now that takes a little time to dry. Pam, thank you. Oh, thank you, thank you. Then for the lemon and the lime, you could do a white gel pen or like a white glaze pen, but I thought I would do Hero Art's white pearls. Liquid pearls would work here. Yeah, it's a black glaze pen. I buy the 2-pack. I have it linked below. They're very affordable. But I thought the lemon and lime seeds, I would do, watch, I'll hold it up in a second. I do like a blob of the liquid pearl at the top of the seeds. All right, then I take the tip of a piercer and I kind of drag it into like that seed shape, like a cone shape, to like a little bit of a point. So I dragged it to look like a seed. And that will give us dimension. So now we have shiny seeds, and it just makes the card stand out more. I think I might go back and put like 3 little dots on the orange or something, but I'm gonna set this aside because it's wet, and I'll show you my final card so you can see what it looks like once dry. So I have the white pearl seeds that give you dimension, and then I use the black glaze pen. See how it looks for the seeds on the watermelon and on the strawberry. And I just feel like it brings it alive. Yeah, white gel pens are tough. I've got one, I got 2 I'll talk about later that are better than most. Here we go. Yeah, an orange wood stick, yep. So that's the first card, and you can see the little bit of background on it. Just subtle. And I just think it's fun how it opens. It's something different. When you take it out, it kind of falls, so you kind of see that it opens that way. How do you prevent your pens from clogging over time? The best thing you can do is wipe the tip off. I will say these black glaze pens, I don't have problems with them. I do, like, they've never gotten clogged. But when you haven't used it in a while, the bit of ink on the tip will kind of harden, which you might have seen come off. I just wipe the tip before I use it, and then you're good. But it doesn't, this doesn't clog like the white gel pens and all that. They're just finicky. They're really finicky. Okay, so that's the first card. Now I thought I would do a similar card that'll be faster to do, but this is a different kind of interlocking card, and I'm going to show you how to do reverse. All right, so this is the card here. It opens like this, and then the little elephants interlock when you close it. Isn't that fun? I love that. And so you could give this to someone, like your 2 favorite colors or whatever. You could do this for a baby card. You could do it for a lot of different things. Isn't that cute? Just, it's different and it's quick. But I can show you this fun fold, how easy it is, and I'm going to show you how to do reverse. All right? Then the next card I think is probably my favorite. But let's finish this one first because it uses that same Sweet Safari. So remember, this is the same set that we use for the fruit because both are, it includes both. See, it includes the elephant and the fruit, which I like because you could use them together separate. By the way, the fruit you could cut up. You don't have to use it all connected. All right, so I'll do this one pretty quickly here. Let's do, okay, so I have 2 elephants that I die cut. All right, one of them I'll lay down. The other one I'm going to flip upside down and lay down. That way they're facing each other. Now, you know that die cuts, like the back of a die cut, the back of the die cut has like a little ledge, a rough edge on it. We'll flatten that later. But for now, just put it upside down. So I have 2 die cuts, one is upside down. So let's do the regular die cut first. This is just the front of the die cut. I'll line up my elephant. Oh, come on. Oh, I'm on the back side of my, no wonder it wouldn't stick. So this is just the regular die cut from white. You could, again, start with a full sheet of cardstock and do all of it, but I don't plan to for this one. I'm just doing the elephant. I gotta move the balloons, sorry. Okay. Hang on, I gotta put some things away before I get more things out. Let's do Sparkling Rose first. I should do different colors, but oh well. Sparkling Rose first. I'm going to start at the bottom. Thank you, Mary. At the bottom of the elephant, and then blend up so that like his belly is darker than his head. Hers, his, whatever. Just for a little variation. Some other things that you could do here is you could like stamp over this or use like a polka dot stencil over this to give it some interest, but I decided to leave them plain. You definitely could add more to it if you want. So there's the first one. Somebody's texting me. Make sure it's not a kid. It's Susan and Beth Opal sending me a video of them singing Happy Birthday as my guest, because they do that every year. Okay, then next you have the ear and the tail. Just adds a little detail. And this I do in the darkest color. You could do black here if you wanted, but I'm just using the Raspberry Bliss. Got a mess here. Okay. Thank you. This sticky mat is Altenew sticky mat. And then the final one is for an eye, but I'm gonna wing the eye later on. So we don't need to do that. All right, so there's one. That's our pink elephant. Next, let's do a blue one. For my card, the blues I used were, man, this is dirty. The blues I used were Seaside and Sapphire, but I think I'm gonna change it up for this one. I'm gonna clean up a bit. I put this in backwards. That's gonna drive me crazy. There we go. Oh, little OCD there. Let's do Waterfall and Paradise this time. As I told you, I like those colors. So let me clean off this first stencil. Now, I want this elephant to face the opposite way. So I'm flipping the stencil or the die cut over, and I'm inking on the back. So therefore, I have to flip my stencil over also. So I flip it over and it'll line up with the back of the die cut that way. This will give us 2 images that the reverse. Does that make sense? This is not waterfall, here's waterfall. So waterfall first, best color in the history of colors. And if you're looking, thank you. If you're looking for, they're too depressing, what's too depressing? If you're looking for the perfect color of cardstock to match this beautiful waterfall, Spellbinders has a cardstock called Waterfall. And it matches this. How's that for easy to remember? All right, so I did Waterfall first. Yeah, isn't it fun? And then Paradise to do that little bit of inking on the stomach and the rear. Okay, so there is the first one. Now, we don't need to do the eye. Where did the, oh, here it is. Let me clean this. And then for the ear and the tail, remember I gotta flip it over. You can tell the stencil is flipped over because it says Pinkfresh on the front. So flip it if you're reading the text. Thank you, thank you. All right. I go straight from visiting Colin at camp to another camp, Concord and 9th camp, summer camp. And it's funny because a lot of the things I pack for one, I'm actually packing for the other. Some flannel shirts and stuff. Anyway, okay, so now we have 2 elephants. 2 elephants. Oh my gosh, this is a pigsty. Let's see, what's next? Oh, I need a piece of vellum. Next, I want to flatten these because remember, this has the ledge, it looks like the back of a die cut. And this one looks like the front. I want them to look the same. So I put them both down on a cutting plate and I put a piece of vellum on top. We're just gonna squish it flat and run it through. So I'm running it through like I would with a die, but I'm just putting a piece of vellum on it. And while that goes through, cheers. Mike does a heavy pour. He's not a wine drinker. He does a heavy pour. I know. That's why I like you. Okay. So now they're flat and they both look the same. So no one would ever know this is the back of a die cut. And that piece of vellum I just keep and use over and over. Next, I want these to be kind of strong. Oh, I didn't realize I had already made them. Funny. Oh well. I'm just going to glue this one to the back. So next, I want these to be strong because they're going to be hanging off the edge. They're going to interlock. So I'm adding an extra die cut to the back so that it's stronger. Oh, thank you, Sherry. I needed that. Okay, so there are 2 little elephants. Now let's do the card base and then I'll show you the details. The card base. I wanted to show you how you use the better press plate with the die. I still have another card where I'm going to show you how to use these if you don't have a better press. I am 50. I am 50. And Mike is still older than me, and so is Ken. Why do you put them both through the die cut machine? Why not? Because you know how when the right side of a die cut looks kind of smooth on the edges, I wanted them both to just look flat on the edges so they match up. Oh, Team Fig, is that Kathy's? Whose is that? Mike has his beer. He has our favorite beer. We both like the same beer. It's called High Life. And ironically, yeah, it's from Florida. And ironically, they serve it at some Disney resort restaurants, which is quite nice. Okay, it's from Tampa, where Dana is. All right, so this time I'm going to use the press plate and the die together. Next card, I will use the press plate without a better press system. Okay, yeah, you could smooth the edges of the cardstock with the bone folder too. Either way works. Oh, Team Fig is Christina. Oh, you're gonna like being on Christina's team because she gets real competitive in the games. Really competitive. So chances are you'll win. She gets real competitive. Remember Team Poppy? Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is Misty Coast. Misty Coast is a great super light gray. And I thought about doing like yellow or something for this, but I need cardstock. But I didn't want to distract from the elephants. I wanted this to be subtle. So I'm using a super light gray, Misty Coast. Their Rocky Shore is a little bit darker, and the Metropolis is even darker than that. All right, so let's dab that with Misty Coast. Run it through. Even if you don't ink it well, it'll work great. You don't see a waterfall at where? Pinkfresh has waterfall, and Spellbinders doesn't have inks, but they have cardstocks, and they have a waterfall cardstock. Look at that. Isn't that just a fun little pattern? Thank you, Michelle. Okay, now you could leave it like this, like I did on the last card, but I wanted to show you how cool it looks with the die. And again, remember, I'm gonna show you on the next card another way to use this. You're in Poppy, yay. Christina is hysterical. She's trouble. She was hardcore last year about it. We've got some fun games planned. I'm a co-host, so I will be helping Greg. I think I still play the games though.
She's more trouble because she's not on the slide. So I wanted to talk to her.
Oh yeah, I can give her a hard time for not being here today. I should text her. Which color is Kathy Zilski? Oh, good. Have an ice cream for me. Wonderful. The next card has ice cream on it. I'm not sure if this cut all the way through. Hang on. I need my shim. Now this has a lot of cutting on it, so I added a shim in there. See the metal shim? So that should help. I don't always need that. So the teams, I'm sorry. Concord and Ninth has their summer camp, and it is next week. It's a virtual event, and it's like a theme is camp. So there are different teams that are different cabins, and they're colors of Concord paper and inks. Powder blue, powder boop. And it's a fun event they've been doing. I think this is the 5th year now. I've been to all of them except the first one because my oldest was getting married that weekend. But I'm a co-host now, which I appreciate that Greg had me doing. It's really fun. Greg and I work really well together. Okay, so this is part of the new release. And I just think it's great. Let me finish popping these out and then I'll show you. These would be fun little pieces. They're little like diamondy kind of shape. These would be fun little pieces to put in a shaker. I'm going to pull these aside because I can use them in a shaker. I'm trying to hurry too much. I'm tearing the back, but that doesn't matter.
Can a press plate be used in a die cut machine?
Yes, a press plate can be used in a die cut machine, and I'm going to demonstrate that on the next card. Oh, there's adhesive on the back there. That's why. Dang it. Okay, good enough. So there it is. Fun little detail. Isn't that fun? Fun background. Be great to put like on a color cardstock so it shows through, but we're doing white on white. All right, so this I want to put on a fun fold card that opens right at the middle, a gatefold card. So I'm going to cut it in half. So I'm just following the pattern that's kind of in the halfway point of the pattern. I'm lining up with my trimmer blade. So now I have 2 pieces. We'll set those aside. Now I need to create my card base. I need to get half a piece of cardstock for this. One moment. For this you'll need a 4 1/4 by 11 inch piece of cardstock, just like last time. I use my big Tim Holtz trimmer that's on the side desk there. So this is 11 by 4 1/4. To get the fold line right in the middle, I score one end at 2 3/4 inches, then the other end from 2 3/4 inches. Then I fold those both in and they'll meet in the middle. I just like to make sure it lays nicely. Yeah, it's going to lay nicely. Now we have our gatefold. And I can glue my 2 halves of the background on top. Yes, so the code that you see in the description below, you use it at checkout, and it gives you an extra 20% off clearance items only. But if you put $30 or more into your cart, a pop-up will come up offering the free gift, which I showed you at the beginning of the video. That is definitely the best free gift I've ever heard of. I'd have to find it. It's a background die and stencil. Here it is. It's this background die and stencil set, 4 stencils, and it gives you a pattern like that. I showed that at the beginning. It's this. And you can use them together or separately. Really fine detail. So that information is down below also. All of it's at the top of the YouTube description. You can also go, the top of my YouTube description is a link that you can click, and it has the word live in it. If you click that, it'll open you up into a new tab where you can see thumbnails of everything I use and also information on those offers. It's just easier to look at that page than the YouTube description below. All right. Okay, I'm gonna put, I need 2 of these. Put that, see, I'm not giving it enough time to dry and it's shifting on me. Okay, good enough. All right, let me give that a minute. Welcome. Yeah, those Sakura pens are the best. Okay, so I have my little guys here. I think I will add, let's do the tape next. Doo-doo-doo. Hold on. I'm using Altenew foam tape. This is my favorite tape because it comes in 3 widths and 2 different thicknesses. And I like it because you can cut it without it getting stuck to your scissors, if you can find scissors. So I'm going to cut little pieces and put this on the back. Now I don't want any on his trunk because the trunk is going to hang off. So I'm putting it like in the middle of his body, and then maybe a little on below that. Oops. Any more questions that I can answer? That's dry enough-ish. The reason I put the vellum on top of the die cuts before I put it through is if I have any like scratches or cuts in my top cutting plate, it would push that onto the die cut and make it not look pretty. The vellum just gives it a flat thing to press against. Is it better press? Is it helpful to run through the die cut machine twice or not? And there's no need. All right, so this guy is going to go, I'm going to move him down lower this time. So he's hanging off a little bit here, and then I'll do the same on the other side. Will I be going live on Black Friday again this year? I think I have to. Yeah, because that was so much better than going in public to the mall and of all places, things like that. Yeah, no. I will be going, yeah, I will be doing it. That was fun. And I have more things planned for this year. Okay.
Yeah, we learned a lot on that one.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
9 hours live.
That was crazy, crazy.
That was actually fun.
Okay, on this one, I'm going to use the Just For You. Instead of, on this one, I used Sending a Great Big Hug, which I thought went nice with the big elephants. But that's from a discontinued Pinkfresh stamp set. But I know that there are lots of different sentiments out there that would work for it, you know, that you could use. So I put the Just For You only glued on the left flap, okay? So you don't want to glue your card shut. And then finally, I finished with the eyes and the hearts. So the hearts I cut from holographic cardstock. I'm not going to do that right now because, find my gems. I'm not going to do the little hearts right now because all I did was glue some silver hearts on. Here, holographic hearts. I used an old heart die to cut those and glued them on. But for the eyes, I'm using these black pearls. These are from Trinity, probably. Trinity Black Eyed Beads. And I'll use those for the eyes. And first, for the girl one, I'm going to give her eyelashes. And I just drew 3 little lashes. Pew, pew. Okay. So let's do, come on. There. Oh, she's so cute. Isn't she cute? There. Look at them. Oh my gosh. Then I also used, for white, I talked about white gel pens. You know, there are no excellent perfect out there. 2 that I find best for white are the Altenew acrylic marker. It comes in both of their acrylic marker sets. Can you add those to the supply list? Oh, actually they're in the supply list. So Altenew acrylic markers have a bunch of colors in them, and they're great because they're opaque. So you could do like a yellow marker on top of a blue background. And each set comes with a white, and this white I find to be a great white. And you don't have to pump this, and you can see it gives you nice white dots. Another option is the POSCA white gel pen or paint pen, which is on the list too. It's always out of stock, but I will use that on the next card. So that is how this card opens, and this, like, the little trunks interlock. Okay. all I did was add the hearts above it. But you can see that texture on the background, which I think is fun because it adds that texture and interest without distracting. Yeah. Yes, Mike did pew pew sound effect. She said it, if you watch Big Bang Theory, he's watched that.
Oh,
yeah. All right, isn't that fun? It would be a cute anniversary card. That would be. All right, so that's just one I wanted to, I thought the elephants were really cute, and I wanted to show that because it's from the same set as the same Sweet Safari set. Okay? Okay, next card. Mike should make a card. Yeah. Okay, he said, nope, not so crafty. That's how he got the name, not so crafty. Okay, next one. Here it is. Everything's gonna come crashing down at some point. Okay, here's the next one. This is so cute. I love this one. And it opens like that. And I love that the ice cream cone is right along that edge. You could do this with a variety of products.
That's neat.
But on this one, the background, I used the press plate, but I didn't use it with the better press. And that I think actually gives really cool results. So I'll show you that, okay? So let's do the stencil first. This one won't take as long. So this is the, what did we call this one, Mike? What's the stamp set called? Ice cream. It is called Sweet Scoops. It's a stencil set, and then there's a die that coordinates. There's no stamp set. So this is like, the image is made out of the stenciling, which I love because it doesn't have an outline then. It's just something different. I'm going out of order, but I'm going to start with this first one. I die cut first because I find it really easy to line up that way. Okay, I'm just going to pick inks from my desk. How's that? So this is Sparkling Rose. All my ink brushes are out. I'm going to do a rainbow going up. So you're going to see some of the rainbow ink colors from Pinkfresh here. You could save a lot of time just doing them all the same, but why save time when you can waste some? So there is Sparkling Rose. For the little bunny, I'm going to use Metropolis. I can't find my Rocky Short ink pad. I think they mailed me a new one, and I just haven't put it away yet.
Can you emboss with a hot foil plate?
Can you emboss with a hot foil plate? Absolutely. What I'm going to show you on this card, when we get to the background, the same process you could use with a hot foil plate.
Yeah.
Who's that from?
Leanne.
Is it? Oh, bring that over here.
You?
Leanne.
Leanne, Kelly. I'm going to see her next month on a cruise. Look at this. Do you want to say hi? Or no?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Take this.
Stick that
Look at
melon of
this.
yours in the camera.
Isn't that beautiful?
Do they know how old
There's
you are?
orchids. Yes, they know how old I
She's
am.
50.
Yeah. She texted me last night just to say, you're half a century old.
Look at the floor, Lila.
Oh.
It was one of those.
Thank you,
poppers.
Leanne.
I
What
went
good
like-
timing.
I went like this. Surprise!
Oh, those are stunning.
Yeah, so-
Wow. Thank you. Aren't
That's
these
cold.
gorgeous?
Where'd you get 50 balloons?
Didn't get 50 balloons. Okay.
No, I mean the 50 balloons. 'Cause
Oh.
Pet apples.
maybe-
I got them this morning.
Oh, he
a lot
got
of people don't buy them.
Okay. She's so sassy. I did Metropolis for the bunny. Stinker. Let's see. I'm going to skip orange, go to yellow. For yellow, I'll do sweet mustard. It's a little bit darker, but it'll help it show up more. Oh, that's a good yellow. Their yellows are really good. Lemon drop, sunshine, sweet mustard, and marigold.
That was funny.
Yeah, she's so funny. Skipping green, go to blue. I'm going to do waterfall because I can't not use waterfall. Yeah, I misspoke at the beginning of the live. I showed you that the Wonderful Sentiments was on sale. It is. It's 50% off, but it's not a clearance item, so you don't get an additional 20. Sorry, you're looking at me. Additional 20% off that, but it's still 50% off. And then we'll do purple. Hydrangea. I don't think it's out yet. Hydrangea for the top one. Lila is a ½ inch shorter than me. And I don't know where her height came from. My dad was tall, and I don't know. She must be Must be because of him. Look at how cute that is. Look at that bunny. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
What color goat?
Yeah, if you're looking for goat theme, oh shoot. If you're looking for goat stuff, the best is Lawn Fawn has a great goat set. I've used it many times to make cards for my son because we argue about who the real goat is in the family. We argue a lot about that. It is 5 o'clock somewhere. It's not 5 o'clock here, but somewhere it is. One of you is somewhere where it's 5 o'clock, so I'm just joining you. Okay. Oh, I did waterfall. I want, do I have it out here? Nope. Seaside. Seaside. Seaside's a great blue. What was that? Oh. All right, so Seaside up here. Look at that blue. Ooh. And remember, Pinkfresh inks are like a lot of other dye inks, but especially more so, where they dry and smooth out over time. So even if you don't blend well, it'll look good. I need Grassy Knoll. So you're getting to see some rainbow here. Yeah, Lila's braids. I'm telling you, she is...
She's a...
I did something different. How did I do it different?
You have hair like that at her age.
I don't...
Super long.
I skipped one, but that's okay. Who cares? So this one will be green. That's Grassy Knoll. Yeah, I always had long hair. Not as long as hers. Hers is like... And I told her she can keep it as long as she wants, as long as she takes care of it. And boy, does she. Like, she's the healthiest hair. And I told her she could never do anything crazy with it on her own. We just fly to Rena and you let Rena do it. And then Warm Buff for the cone. Warm Buff is one of my favorite light browns. And it can also mimic like a soft gold color. Okay, so there we go. Look at that. Isn't that cute? On this one I did a red, whatever. All right, I didn't do Seaside. Let's see, where's the next one? Now this one just has details, but they're cute details that you don't want to skip. For example, this does the bow, it does the tail. Let's do pink. Shannon's right. They smooth out so well, I don't have to be an expert at blending with them. I truly believe that, especially Pinkfresh dye inks and their Pinkfresh 1-inch blending brushes, you can get the best blending. Yeah, one of her friends probably braided that at Safety Village today. She has a friend who likes to braid her hair. Yeah, so this is stencil and die, no stamp for this one. Same as with the last one, which I think is kind of fun. All right, so we have cheeks. I did the cheeks with pink. Anyway, I'll do something different with later. And then we have the little hearts. We'll do that in red. I need somebody to come put my brushes away. What am I doing here? Is this red? Yeah. Okay. We'll do red hearts. Okay. So there we have that. Look at that. Oh, my cuteness. And then the final one, this does an eye and a nose on the little bunny, which makes it super easy. So here, change things up a bit. Any questions? They are magical. Those one, yeah, see, everybody's saying, if you have the 1-inch blending brushes that I call the magic brushes, leave in the comment what you think of them, because I've never met anybody who doesn't love them. They're fantastic. Just something about how they, I don't know, however it's built is just perfect. Why hurt us crafters? Who's hurting crafters? I just put a little leftover gray ink up there on the straw. For the eyes and nose, I'm just going to do a little black Sharpie. I can go back over that later with the black glaze pen. I did the same on the face of that one. And then I need sprinkles here. And then the last thing is just need to mark where the seeds go. But you know what? Instead of marking where the seeds go, I'm going to use my white, that POSCA paint pen. POSCA paint pen? No, that's not it. Where'd it go? I just had it in my paw. Here it is. So I'm just going to use the stencil so I know where to put it. There we go. So don't feel like you have to use inks over things. So watch that. Look how cute that is. Oh my gosh. Let's make those a little sharper. There we go. Oh my gosh. Oh, I forgot to do the heart. I'm just going to leave it. There was a heart that you can add. I'm just going to skip it. All right. Yeah, those brushes are great. Hey, now's a good time to try them because you get the free amazing gift at $30. How many brushes at minimum? I would get, honestly, I recommend one for each color in the rainbow, one brush for each color. So either 3 or 4 sets, because you might want a brush for brown and gray also. So either 3 or 4 sets, there's 3 in a set. Just depends on, you know, how you craft. But they're a good investment. I find, you know how some brushes, when the bristles or the hairs or whatever are really close together, compact, the brushes kind of get like it feels like it has buildup on it. I don't find that with these because the hairs or the bristles are looser. That makes sense. So like they just stay nice. I don't know. I think they're wonderful. It's funny. Maybe some of you were in the class. I was teaching a class for Pinkfresh last year, and the free gift was a set of those brushes, right? And I hadn't tried them. Well, when it came time to teach the class live, I'm like, oh, I'll just try these new brushes. And I about died during that class. I was just blown away by how well it worked. Just loved them. Okay, next up, a piece of white cardstock here. Let me get this plate off. I use a magnet to pull the plates off. Just a second. Okay. So I thought I would show you how, I'm going to show you 2 things. Sorry. I told you how, I showed you how you can use this press plate with a better press system. My first 2 cards had that, right? You can also use this to foil with a glimmer machine. I'm not going to do that today, but you can foil with these, and they actually foil better. Press plates foil better than foil plates do. That's why companies aren't making foil plates anymore. They're just doing press plates. So, but here's another thing you can do with press plates, and I actually think this gives amazing results. So most die cut machines come with this flexible mat. Like a flexible mat, sometimes they're gray, sometimes they're black, sometimes they're tan. Hold please. Okay. It's my birthday. Most come with it, or you can buy them separately. But this allows you to do what they call dry emboss with the die, which basically means you're making an impression. I call it making an impression. So I'm just following my die cuts sandwich that it says to do if you're dry embossing with the die, but I'm going to use a press plate instead. So this flexible mat is down. Then I'll put cardstock, whatever cardstock you want. You can mist it if you want to give better results, but I'm lazy. Press plate down. You could put ink on it if you want, but I'm leaving it uninked. It might still have some ink from the last one. And then again, the sandwich that the Platinum gives. Yes, Sweet Scoops is a new product. It's in the new category. All right, so I run that through, and look it gives you a deep impression. It looks like an embossing folder did it, right? So you can use it in both ways. So if you see a press plate you like, but you don't have a better press system, you can use it to make an impression. Isn't that gorgeous? So now, let me show you this one. Hold, please. I forgot to get a piece of cardstock out. We're at the point where I'm tearing things. I'm going to cut with the die first. So I'm just cutting a piece of white cardstock. That way I'll do the impression on it after. So I'm gonna run that through. Because it's such an intricate die, I am going to run it through a couple times. Oh, do you wash my brushes? I don't. I don't wash my brushes. I've never washed a brush of any type in the history of ever. I don't think there's a reason to, but some people love to give their brushes a spa day, and if that is your jam, you go to town. I'm gonna run it through. I think it, let me see if it cut all the way through. Yeah, it did. I just hit it against the side of my desk and it'll pop all those little pieces out. And it goes on the floor with the rest of the confetti. Okay, let me show you something. So I just die cut that. Hold please. I don't wash brushes, but say you want to try to clean it a bit. I don't recommend, oh, I got ink on it. Drats. Say you have, you want to clean a brush a bit. You can use water, right? But always leave your brushes upside down to dry because you don't want the water going in the brush, down like the handle and messing with the glue. I've never washed a brush, but sometimes, like say I accidentally use the wrong color on it or something, what you can do is 1 spray of rubbing alcohol. Yes, see, do not soak your brushes, even when you give them a spa day, because there's glue in here holding this and it's going to mess with it. I recommend not doing any cleaning, but if you need to clean a little bit, what I do is I do 1 spray of rubbing alcohol on the bristles and then go like that, and that will remove some of whatever ink's on there. But this is going to stain because it's ink and they were white bristles to begin with. Okay, that is the only cleaning I've done, and that was like when I put my pink brush into like a brown or something, but I don't find a need for that. If I ever want to get a dark blue off of here to switch to light blue, I just go with the dry to a dry cloth and just rub that off and it's fine. Yeah, I've never, let's do a poll. Have people, do you wash your brushes? I'd love to hear. While I recut that because I got black ink on it. Do you wash your brushes? I hear people doing it all the time. So Mike's gonna put up a poll and you can answer on that. But if you do wash your brushes, why do you wash them? Is it because they get kind of clumpy? If that's the case, I just go on on a dry cloth and do that, and it seems to work. But please tell me, if you do wash your brushes, what reason? As far as between like a pigment ink and a dye ink, I have gotten to the point where I only use my brushes with dye inks. I use my Tim Holtz ink blending foam with pigment and oxide inks. So like this. I use this for pigment and oxide. I find it blends better than a brush for pigment inks. So you wash them when they get stuck together. Okay. Yeah, washing shortens their life. I believe it. Did you see all that fly? Okay.
It's pretty wildly a big no.
No? Okay.
90%.
90%. Yeah, see here's my thought about it. Who wants to clean in the craft room? I mean, come on. Okay. But if you clean them, I don't judge you. I commend you for being cleaner than me. Okay, so I die cut with the die first. Then I will take the press plate and line it up. You could do the other way around, but I'm just lining it up on there. And then put that face down on that flexible mat and run it through. So I'm doing the same thing I did before, but I'm die cutting first. Donna says she sprays a little bit of alcohol on a dry cloth and then rubs against that. That works too. I don't recommend putting a lot of rubbing alcohol because you don't want that to get into the bristles. I mean, I did 1 spray and it's only on the tips. And I don't think you really need to do that even. They don't need a bath. Okay, so look at that. Isn't that cool? I could have put ink on the press plate first and it would leave ink in that indentation. So these are just different ways you can use a press plate without a better press. Yeah, they are fantastic brushes. Yeah, Mary, I do the same thing. I usually just rub the color off on a dry cloth before I switch. Yep. 90% of why we spend time cleaning is, the reason we craft is because we don't want to clean. Let's go with that. Okay, so there's that little impression there. Now I'm going to do this flap thing here again. So that's that little flap. It just looks cool on display. It's just something different, but you can do it however you want. And I'm going to make, I want my flap to be, I'm going to go like 3 in from the side, 3 of the patterns in. Random. I didn't measure. Random. I'll show you how to do this without measuring. All right. Now this is a gatefold card in the other direction. So for this, you want to start with a 5.5 by 8.5 inch piece of white cardstock. So this is half of a sheet of cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5. Now I want to know where I need to score here. So what I'm going to do is just hold it here. See, I'm holding that there. So it's all along that edge, and then I'm going to score right next to it. That way I didn't have to measure. So there's my score line, and I'll fold there. And you can see this fits nicely on it, right? And I didn't have to measure. Okay, so I'll put it back in. Yeah, crafting equals no cleaning or cooking.
Jam logic.
Jam logic, man. I'm telling you. Okay, so I put that corner back in. Now I want my card to be 4.5 inches wide. So from that scored flap, I'll score at 4.25, and this will cause those 2 flaps to meet there in the middle. Well, meet there. See? Yes, you can dry emboss on an Anna Griffin machine. The old Anna Griffin machine came with with an embossing mat. I don't know if it does anymore, but it's available. Okay, so now I need to do a fold, because remember how there's a fold in the back to create that hinge. So I'm just putting it in, and right along the edge of this flap, I'll press it down and I'll do a score line on the back of the card there and fold the other way. Oops. Okay. I'll flatten all that down. And now I want to glue this closed. You could have left it a gate card, but I think this is fun and different. So now that's glued. So this is how the card opens here. Okay. Can you do the same thing? Yes. Okay. Yes, if you have thank you for saying this. If you have a hot foil plate, like in the Pinkfresh clearance section, there's hot foil plates. But if you don't have a foil machine, you can still use them. You do the exact same thing I did with an embossing mat on your die cut machine and make an impression with that foil plate, okay? Just like I did with the press plate. So there, it's fun little hinge. So now we have to glue this on. Now this has got a lot of texture to it. It's not going to want to dry right away, but I'm going to try my best. I'm running out of time. I can't do the lighthouse card. Darn. I'll do that in another live because I really like that set. I'll show it to you and I'll talk about what I was going to do. So this gets glued on that one flap that's glued down. Let's put deep. And now this one goes on the other flap. All right. Okay, so Mike, are there questions I'm missing? Mm-hmm. Oh, and by the way, I do have a giveaway at the end. If you leave a comment in the chat, if you already are leaving comments, you're eligible. Mike will randomly at the end of this live pick a winner. I might do 2. How do you mail bulky cards? It depends on how bulky. I use rigid mailers. I don't, Mike can add them to the supply list. I use rigid mailers most of the time. I actually found out about those from Andy. Because then like the bulk won't tear the envelope when it goes through the mail. But if it's super bulky, I use a padded envelope. So special cards, I'll use a padded envelope. This one you wouldn't need. You wouldn't need anything special, except you can get a stamp that is for non-machinable. So it costs like 70 cents or something. And they don't run it through the machine then. So I would take that up to the desk, buy one of those stamps, put it on, and they hand cancel it. So it doesn't go through a machine.
Yeah, non-machinable.
Yeah, non-machinable. Okay. Still put that on there. Now this, I only want to glue to the flap on the right-hand side. So I will put adhesive only along the back half of this. So I'll just run it right along this back. I'm using a strong liquid adhesive, so I know it'll stay. I don't have to worry about not using a ton. So that will go there. I put that on there. And then a sentiment. I used Sweet Birthday Wishes. And let's see what that's from. I think that is from, it's from this set. This is the Gelato on the Go. It's a stencil set, stamp set, and die set. And you can see the different sentiments that are in it. Hope your day is extra sweet, sweet birthday wishes, you are cooler than gelato, and hello friend. So I'm just mixing and matching from different sets. So I put glue on this. I just stamped it, die cut it, added an extra die cut to the back of it. There we go. Now, I do want to add some details. So I've got my black gel pen. I always, like I mentioned before, I always like to test it out on something first. Just make sure it's going. Yep. And then, oh, I need readers for this. I did the eyes and nose on both with that. Now you could go back and use a marker on the sprinkles. Like on this one, I did different color sprinkles, and I did that with Altenew acrylic markers. Remember I said the white acrylic marker comes in the set. There's a bunch, I think 24 in a pack. Oh, it's $119 now. Shows you what I know. You could use these because these are opaque, and I could use them on the colors of ink. So if I wanted like yellow sprinkles on my blue, I mean, look at how bright these are. These are really fun colors that you can add. I did that on here to have color sprinkles, but I don't think I'm going to do it on this one. Yeah, so these are just some simple fun fold cards. So now this opens like that. Okay, and it'll stand up nicely. Just make sure you work that hinge back and forth so you can feel it opens like that. Isn't that fun? So there you can see the texture on the background. Didn't take long at all for that one. Is that 20 minutes? Isn't that fun? Will I do a Christmas live? Probably not on Christmas Day, but maybe before that. But I will be on Black Friday. I might do it on Small Business Saturday too, because I wasn't able to include a bunch of companies and I am a glutton for punishment. Happy birthday to your daughter. Okay, so these are just some fun, just changing things up a little bit. Some happy cards. I do want to show you, I will tell you what I was going to do with, hang on, with that lighthouse, if I can find it. Where'd I put it? Dang nabbit, it's that time of the live where I can't find a darn thing. The lighthouse. And Mike just left. Let's see other questions while I look. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. I may like on like the 20th, maybe that, you know what I might do? I might be traveling, but maybe on the 26th next year. That would be a fun day. I might have done that last year. I can't remember. I think I might have. I tend to take those days where people are home and maybe crafting. So like, you know, a bank holiday or whatever. But Black Friday, I don't like the name Black Friday, first of all. But Crafty Friday, I think that's better. Oh, good. Welcome to Cincinnati. Okay, this was the other set I was going to do, and I'll talk about what I was going to do with it. So this is the guiding light. This was from their last release, and I didn't get a chance to use it, and I just really, really like it. So there is a stamp set with some great sentiments on it. All right. There is a coordinating die set that will cut all those out. Then there's also coordinating press plate set, and the dies work with it too. Then there's a coordinating stencil set. So the first 3 stencils can be used to color in the lighthouse. But the other 3 stencils can be used to make a background. So there's clouds, grass, a hill, and some water. And I love these can be used with other things, other critters, you know, other elements, right? Because you have that scene background. Or you can put the lighthouse on it. This is all Pinkfresh. Okay, so what I was planning on doing was a card like this one, but I would put the lighthouse here so that when you open it, the lighthouse opens with the hinge. Does that make sense? So that's what I was thinking of doing, but then doing the scene on the background. So I would have done the exact same card, but have the scene on the background instead. So I'll definitely use this in a future live because I think it's just great. I'm bummed that I didn't, but I gotta go up there and love on my girl. Happy birthday late. And yes, it's Friday the 13th, and yes, I was born on Friday the 13th. And quiet, Mike. Legit, I was. That's what's wrong with me. All right, so there we have some cards. Okay, giveaways. Mike, can you pick 2 winners?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, okay. Do you know why it's called Black Friday? It's something about like where they go from red to black in their books or something. So it's not a bad thing. I just don't like it. Just
Lee Patty too said that.
Yeah, it just makes me feel like I don't know. It makes me think of like I know Black Friday is a stressful time for retailers, so for me it makes me feel stressed. I don't know why. So that's why I crafted instead. I used to volunteer bagging to raise money for a charity. I used to volunteer with my mom bagging things on Black Friday at Kohl's. And it was like the hardest day. I don't know how those retail workers do it. And I think, and I saw how crazed people get. And so maybe that, I have a little, overconsumption, yes. And really, the reason I did it this year is I know that it's a hard time in our industry right now. And so I thought it would be nice to really bring focus on those small businesses. And it helped a lot of them out to have those sales and have people buy things. But it was like a day of ideas. So even if you weren't shopping, I shared way too much is what happened. Okay, giveaway.
Yep.
First giveaway. This is actually on clearance too. This is the Magic is in You, which is a great set. I love these mushrooms. So there is a stencil set. So it's only stencils, no stamps, and a coordinating die set. And you get this great scene. There is this terrarium die too. It's in a different die set. But I just love these little mushrooms. So this is the Magic is in You. And even just the foliage alone is fun. I use this in a class also, but you can get this in the clearance section right now. Tracy, I used to go shopping on Black Friday too. I thought it was fun. And the day after Christmas too, my mom and I used to go shopping, and Audrey, my second oldest, when she was like in college, she's like, I really want to go out, at midnight on Christmas, Christmas night to hit all the big sales. And I'm like, you're not going to like it. And she said, let's do it. We went to an outlet mall and we were there like a half hour, and she's like, I need to get out of here. I'm like, okay, well, it's going to take us an hour to get out of the parking lot. It was awful. Okay. The winner of the Magic is in You is
Cassie Norvell.
Cassie Norvell.
Yep.
Cassie, please email me through my website and we'll get this in the mail to you along with the card. And the second winner will get a $50 gift card to Pinkfresh. Can you take that? That's donated by me just because I love Pinkfresh. And if whoever wins this, if you email me right away, we'll get you the gift card right away so you can use these codes and get that free gift and the extra 20% off clearance. And who's the winner of the gift card?
The winner of the gift card is Lucy Stiles.
Lucy Stiles. Lucy Stiles, if you email me, we will get you through my website. Give us your address and we'll get that, give us your email address and confirm, and we will get you the gift card via email. By the way, the mushrooms, I like mushrooms too. If you're looking for punny mushroom sentiments that would work well with that mushroom set I just showed you, CZ Design, Kathy, over at Simon Says Stamp, has a mushroom stamp set, and I've used those two together and they work really well. They got some punny little sentiments to go with mushrooms. So I thought I'd mention that. Okay, what else, Mike?
I don't know.
I think that's it. So
I pinned the message for the winners and
okay.
the contact.
So remember, if you spend $30 on anything at Pinkfresh right now, a little pop-up will come up asking you or offering you a free gift. It's a $33 value free gift that you get when you spend $30. And if you're, if you want, you can just stock up on tools. They have a great liquid adhesive. They have the blending brushes. It's just a good time. So a reminder that the free gift is the big die, the 4 coordinating stencils, and you can make a background like that. And I think the die cut's on the floor somewhere. It's somewhere down there. Oh, here it is. Gives you this. So that's the free gift. Then also, because of my birthday, Pinkfresh said you can use the code that's in the description below and you get an additional 20% off their clearance items. And the clearance items are like 50% off and more. And I've talked about, at the beginning of this live, I talked about some of those products that I've used in the past. As far as the next time I'm going live, it will not be next week because I'm going to visit my son at the camp he's volunteering at in the middle of nowhere, New York. And then I'm going to the Concord and Ninth camp. So it'll be the week after that. I will be probably doing 3 lives again. I haven't done one with Altenew in a while. Probably do that. I don't know. I've got a few things. Oh, I do know one. On the 24th is my next one. It's a Tuesday. I will be going live, and that's going to be a fun one. Another fun, unique product line. I'm so excited about it. So the 24th is my next live. I will have some videos this week, but not live. What else? I think that's it. I'm going to go finish my heavy pour. And this is about how much a wine is.
Okay.
I shouldn't have told him that because I like his heavy pour. I think that's it. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Pinkfresh. Kathleen, thank you for being here. I appreciate that a lot. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below. And I do moderation on my comments. That way I don't miss questions. So my friend Gina helps me answer all the questions. So if you have a question, leave it in the comments. It'll take us a few days to approve it. It won't show up right away, but that way we don't miss questions. That way we know when one pops up. And she'll ask me if she doesn't know the answer, and then she'll come back and reply. I guess that's it. I really do appreciate you all being here. And I hope you find some time to craft this weekend. I will be working tomorrow a little bit before I head out of town. But tonight, time for cake. Thanks for being here. Have a wonderful night.